Hey, what's going on? So, it's another in the studio. I am revisiting yet another VST from Occular Sounds called Analog Strings, as opposed to Analog Brass. It's another 500 patches of potential wonderment, and I've already gone through pre-recording about 85 of these patches. So, just going to give you another idea. While I'm finishing this multi-week ideation period, I am still trying to select some patches here for some of the stuff that I'm working on going forward through September, hitting this idea planning hard. And starting in September, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, I'm going to be refining all the things I'm doing. And then Monday and Friday, I'm still going to be doing some ideation. So basically 5 days a week, it'll be either refining and honing or coming up with new ideas. I figure I do enough ideation even if I only do half of the things that I create ideas for. If there's enough ideas, then I'll easily get past 1,000 by September or December 31st. That's the whole goal here, is to trick the mind and to trick the creative process into just massive discipline and massive just repetition here of the creative process. So it's an experiment. We'll see what happens, you know. But these have been pretty neat. Really fun. It feels more like an analog brass piece. This one doesn't feel as much like strings, but it still has some function for me, so I'm going to hang on to that one. Ooh. I mean, that doesn't... Let's see. I got to crank up my own monitor. I'm a huge fan of that little resonator in the background, but we'll keep it. I bet you I could work with that. There is some tweaking you can do with these presets. And that's part of this too, is that I tend to get excited, and you get this like FOMO when you see a new VST come out. And again, I'm going to define that again. VST is just this fancy acronym for a software synthesizer. So it could be anything from an orchestral thing, you know, lo-fi, drums, any number of software synthesizer, but VSTs is the kind that I put into Logic. So yeah, wishing well. A lot of these are sequence based, which means they have rhythmic and sequence based elements to it, which I think I've never heard of anybody saying that it was like a cheat or anything. When you can't, I mean, I can't play the violin, and I can't play that instrumentation where it's like shun 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 shun. So when I have a patch or I have a piece of software that can emulate that, how you layer that is going to create some really cool sonic things. So I can't. I mean, I don't know how to play. I'm going to mash this into oblivion. But if you find an element and just better down here, that's like literally just got some real creep to it. Oh, there's like a nuance to it. There's like a high-end pitch to it. This is definitely good for horror. I told myself I wasn't going to do any more horror this year, but god damn it. I can't stay away from it. Create some tension. Man, there's a lot of these patches I like. All right, so I immediately like this one. I know it's in 120. I record a lot of things in 120. You can always speed up or slow down my stuff, by the way. And if you're a regular user of my tracks, if you need something at a different speed and you'd prefer it just to be output that way, just buzz me. Tim Kulig Free Music at gmail.com and be like, I need this at like 135 BPM or like a faster pace. You can usually do it in the software that you edit, but honestly, just reach out to me. I can always just export a different version for you. I have no problem with that. And the algorithm is going to pick it up anyway. So I'll get credit for it wherever it's at. Kind of like this. It's got a weird sound to it. I screwed up here too. Fat fingered this. Should have been there. Oh, let's make that a little longer. This is a neat little trick. Just get in there, do that. Let's call this eighth notes. Oh, that might be too. Weird how it changed the timing of these two. You see that? Let's manually adjust these. That should have been like halfway in there. Dun, 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 dun. That one started there. Let's see if that changes the timing too much. Works. Might be a little I don't know. I like I like how fast it's going. Sorry, I've had a frog in my throat for like the last week. Florida's wonderful. You get 300 plus days a year of sunshine. The drawback is there's like 3 or 4 growing seasons, so there's always pollen in the air. And hooray, I get to have allergies, which is great. Arithmetics. I dig this. I dig this a lot. I feel like that's a good man. It's got some orchestral feel. It's got all sorts of stuff going on. So yeah. Let's see. Make sure I don't change the wrong one. It's the worst. You got something there and you don't know what path. Well, that's why I write down the name of the patches almost immediately now. Whenever I'm creating a song canvas, or making a new piece, remind myself what I've got, because sometimes I'll get not pattern interrupts. I'll get just crashes from loading in too many VSTs, and even though I've got an enormous amount of memory on this thing, like 128 gigs, it gets confused sometimes, and it'll just bounce out. And then if it doesn't save everything properly, I'm like, oh God, that was the perfect patch. Where was it? And when you've got tens of thousands of patches to select from, you want to put it into your project. You don't want to forget, because sonically combining those things together, that's like 70% of the battle. Making sure that the pieces themselves flow with the sounds that you select. So it's super important to keep notes as you're going. And I found a way. I found a way to incorporate that into my workflow. So let's see if I. that's that. So I just want to remind myself what I was playing. For whatever reason, this is pitched down. I kind of like having something creating. Yeah. Let's see. I like things that create rhythmic elements in the background because it's important to keep time even with something that sounds chaotic, if that makes sense. What are you doing, cat? I wonder if he's on camera. He always likes to try to get involved. Kimby the cat. It's got some cool tension to it. It's very chaotic. I dig it. I can definitely do something with that. I don't need to totally expand on it right now, but here it is. It's an idea, and I'm digging it so far. The question is, when you're rapidly producing things like this, what do you name all this stuff? That's crazy. Sometimes I'll do a play off the actual patch name. Oh, and I just went against what I was talking about earlier, which is labeling things. Let's make sure we label this thing first. Stabby what? Stabby Wiggler. That's weird. Like, I'm going to call it this. Watch. This is ridiculous, but I'm going to call it Stabby Arithmetics. Why not? I'm going to put it in my horror stuff. I think that arithmetics. Yeah. And there you go. Now I have one of the 5 iterations I need for today. Brilliant. And still like over 400 patches to look through. So we're going to close that. Yes, we're saving. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me. Logic. File new. Again, contact. Let's go. More coffee. I have another episode coming out with Tom and I. He was on the road, so we tested out Riverside with him being on a phone and me being in the studio. And there was some drops in the feed for him where he was in New York. So I still need to edit that one. But that should come out next week. I just haven't had time to dig into it, and I want to make sure it's listenable. It's not going to be a very long episode. We just basically did a quick catch up. We were limited on time last week, but just to let you know, that's coming. That's forthcoming down the pipeline. So. Do I mind that repeat? Again, it creates like a rhythmic element in the background. As long as it's not like pinging something, because sometimes that comes through the mix, and it's problematic because it'll fight with some other instrumentation that I put into play. And it's surprising to me how much it penetrates the mix sometimes when a patch has some revolving thing going on. And it's like ping, 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 and then you go to record and everything. You're like, everything sounds great. There's other elements of that patch that was great. And then you listen to it in the mix and you're like, oh, that's just, it creates such a repetitive element that you're just really frustrated with the end result. I do like that. I like that transition. That's too much. I hunt and peck a lot, if you have ever noticed. Like, I can hear this in my head, and my theory is limited. But I feel like I write better hunting and pecking, because when you find it, oh, the dopamine hit when like something goes like, you know. Anyway, that was a pretty good patch too. These are really good. Does not sound like strings. If you ever wanted to know what that is, hear that little like wee. You know, that whole wah? That's called portamento. And it's a really neat way of the system to slide up to the next note. Yeah, it's a fun little effect. And you can actually build it into old FM synthesis, where you can build in the portamento slide and you can change the actual timing of it and everything. It's really neat. Yeah, so those, it's almost like a third, auto third. It's got utility, but in very specific applications. It's got a very dark. It's neat. Definitely be able to use that. That's kind of neat. So, if you can, I don't know if you can see this, it's close enough up here. There's 3 different color differentiations down here. So, this left-hand side has a very dark pad with a little bit of rhythmic element in it. And then this has a slide to it that's more of an accentuation. Be like, That definitely has some horror elements to it that would be helpful. It just like that, like for like 45 seconds I just get lost. Well, it's funny that I picked that. I didn't even look at the name of the patch. It's kind of neat with the freaking delay. I'd already put out another Middle East album this year, but I might be inclined to do another one. It was a lot of fun, the last one I did. And I feel like I'd learned a bunch since that album, or since the first album I did 4 years ago. It's crazy. I just came up on an anniversary for, what was it? Hyperspace and Circumambient. Those two I came out with 4 years ago, and Hyperspace and Circumambient, there were a couple of new patches on it, but it was the beginning of really the hardcore part of this journey, which is I'm going to put out, 10 to 15 albums a year, blah, blah, blah. And that first year, I literally went through my archives and I'm like, all right, I got to clean up some of this old stuff I've had sitting on my hard drive for 15, 20 years and get all that music out and get it published. And intersperse with it some new ideas as I'm doing this whole process. But it's crazy to me to have those things pop, and some of those songs, they still have legs. I mean, the first D&D compilation I had there, Here Be Dragons is still used very, very prolifically, which I'm very excited about. That was such a fun piece to make. It doesn't feel like strings at all. I like it for the element on the back end. This sounds like a scrappy dog. Oh, that middle section I could do without. There's elements in there I could use, though. And sometimes you have to hold. There's so many elements to a patch. Holding a note down, give you a rhythmic element, give you an idea of how it repeats, right? In some cases, not in this patch, but in some cases there's note off, which when you pull your fingers off the notes based on how quickly you do it and how dynamically you do it, you can get a very unique note off effect that if you play it in nuanced ways, you can really incorporate it into how you write a piece. Like this is definitely not one of those patches that lends itself to, like, you can't hear it. The note on is very subtle. This is more of a very gradual, like, yeah. kind of like that. I want to make sure I save that because that is... Nice. Okay. Analog strings. Emo pacing. That's an interesting track name. I dig it. I don't really want to develop it too much more than that right now. It's just something popped into my head because I'll end up not speaking nearly enough. As you can see, when I was playing that, I just get lost. All of a sudden, I'm somewhere else, which is brilliant. That's what's supposed to happen. So I kind of put that's more orchestration though. Let's see. Well, I'll call it. Let's see. That's kind of like patience is a virtue. How about that? I'll call it that. Patience is a virtue. And just like that, that's my second idea of the day. You guys are really motivating me. Whether you realize it or not. Save. Alright, we'll kill this. File new. And get back in there. It's really a lot of fun. And if there's anybody out there that's been itching to pull the trigger on being creative like this, you should reach out to me. I can set you up with what you need bare minimum to start. In fact, just logic itself to start is brilliant. People scream about some other VSTs, or not VSTs, but DAWs, digital audio workstation, that are specific to Apple. But I say for dollar for $200, this is by far one of the most powerful pieces of software I've ever had the privilege of working with. Not a sponsor, just I believe in the product, and it's really solid, and it's incredibly powerful. I barely touch the surface of it because I don't do a lot of actual real audio capture. Most of mine's based on MIDI, which is just, again, triggering a VST with this external keyboard. And then I'm gonna do some videos this fall with some alternatives. I still have yet to play around. I just haven't had time. I have a couple alternative controllers that should expand the way that I actually write, which is really cool. I figure I'll get through another 40 or 50 patches with you here, and then I'm going to have to let you go because I need to focus on coming up with more ideas this morning. And I have to take care of other things, which are staying healthy. So I'm in this walking regime. Now, as you can imagine, I can sit still for very long periods of time doing this kind of work. And not good. Not good for your back, not good for your neck, not good for your body overall. You need to move. So I get up, and I get up often, and at least 3 or 4 days a week, I walk a good 4 or 5 miles. So keep yourself active, especially when you do sedentary things. You will feel the difference, and your body will thank you. Clusters are always nice. They add some elements. Not sure where I would use that. See what I'm talking about? You need to hold down a key because there's a whole element, a noise element in the background the whole time. You wouldn't know it was there if you didn't keep your finger on the key when you're auditioning these things. It's like little dipsticks. It's little... They are... It gives a pizzicato element to it. But holding it down... Which might have some... That might have some utility. Depends. Oh, that would be annoying. Meow, meow, meow. Oh, there's a weird gate on that. I could use that for a glitch album, actually. Definitely not for an orchestration. The echoey hit is useful. Maybe. I don't know about that high end, high pitch. Oh, there's a weird... I don't know if that's coming through. There's a little... That's neat. There's a little weird nuance thing at the top end. It's neat. I could definitely play around with that and come up with something neat. So, when these have rhythmic elements in it, this is an example of a patch that has a rhythmic element to it and also has an arpeggiator. So based on how you play it or how you drop your fingers in, if you do it all at once, it's all going to be in the same time. Whereas if I start, they're all going to initiate at different times. That'll take some practice because you have to get to know the patch and understand how it works and how to actually play it, which is really neat. I have to thank Bruce McPherson for this years and years ago. He was a mentor and a teacher when I was in my teenage years, taught me how to use FN synthesizers and make them make the sounds that I was trying to emulate. And then I would sit there in my early naive days of playing them and play like chords on instrumentation that should be single notes, like monophonic, which means one note at a time, like a trumpet. A trumpet player can only play one note at a time, so that's how you're supposed to play that instrument. And he would show me how to emulate the instrument on the keyboard in a way that made it sound like the instrument better. And he actually showed me why playing a chord in that instrument just sounds heinous, and it sounds like you're playing a keyboard. Whereas if you use modulation and pitch bending and slide up slightly to a note when you're playing a saxophone or something like that, you can emulate the actual instrumentation and sound of the specific instrument. And it's no different with these newer VSTs that have funky, modern scoring tools, or just patches that have nuance to it that you're like, oh, how would I play this to get the best effect out of whatever I'm trying to do, like whatever style I'm trying to create. I don't know if I'm articulating myself correctly on that, but basically you just need to learn how to play the patch, and there's a lot of them. I don't like that. It has some utility. I could probably use that. Oh, it's very thin in the beginning. I wonder if you can hear that. And then it's airy. Airy on the back end. That's kind of neat. I'll do that for a Kid Spooky album I'm hoping to get done before October 31st. That's neat. I got enough tremolo? Yeah, tremolo. Oh yeah, that sucks. That's just more horror for me. Ooh. I like that. So you just lost me for a minute. Sorry. I'll put this on 2 different tracks, I think. Why not? That's called Pizzy Funkestra. See, even the people that make the patches are like, yeah, let's make up a word. Keep these in time. How did I do that? Wait a minute. There we go. See, I like the last two the best. So let's go in here. Scissor tool. Just cut it in half. Okay. Delete. Boom. Duplicate. Oh, get there. Go where I told you to go. You can imagine like deep end horns and some big orchestral monster drums going in the background. That's kind of cool. I'm probably going to leave it off on this, guys. I've got more work to do today, and I figured this is some good showing of some of the process. Again, a different set of patches. Same company, again, Occular Sounds. Very, very cool patches. I gotta take another look at their catalog because this has been very inspiring. And I had forgotten about a bunch of these. And I'm sure they've come out with new stuff since I purchased these a couple years ago. And very much interested in it. And I should look at their referral affiliate program because I've been advertising the hell out of it these last two demo videos. So thanks for coming along for the journey for a little bit today, and we'll be talking again real soon. All right, take it easy.